It's only fitting that we're currently feuding with Roman Reigns after all the Extreme Rules shenanigans. But more importantly, we have some Raw to talk about tonight. Let me just waste some points here real quick, because I can. There we go. Alright, we got to be the very best. We're up to an 80 now. We're pretty average, pretty great. Let's get these matches started, and we will talk about Raw from Monday the 23rd of May. I gotta focus when the match first starts before I can start talking to them. Alright, so son of a bitch. As you might figure, Raw opened with one Mr. Seth Rollins coming back. He came out to... It was like a chorus of boos and cheers. It all actually blended together pretty well, where it was hard to tell what noise people were making for him. Eventually, the whole crowd settled in, started chanting "Welcome back" as loud as hell. It was a pretty awesome reaction. And he took the stance that I didn't think that the WWE would make him take, but it is what it is. I figured he would come back as a face, like full-blown face. Fuck Roman Reigns, I'm gonna whip his ass kind of attitude. But instead, he took the fuck all the fans. I did this myself. I never lost my belt. You guys gave me cards and presents in the hospital, and I threw them and burned them in the trash. So instead of doing the face thing that I saw coming, he is heelier than heel. He is still the exact same character he was when he left, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it definitely squashed any possibility of him coming back as a face like I figured, and I'm sure like most people figured. It's easy to say now, no you didn't, I knew he wouldn't do that. But you know what? Whatever. So he came out. His new angle is pretty much I never lost my belt, I deserve my title shot. Or I deserve my title back. Roman Reigns comes stomping out. Seth Rollins runs away from him. Shane McMahon himself comes out and says, "Come on, guys, let's all sit in the ring for a second. We'll talk this out. No big deal." They talk out the fact that Seth is right; he never lost, and that while a match between those two is WrestleMania caliber, instead we will have that match in Money in the Bank. So the WWE is just so generous in giving that they're going to give us this WrestleMania quality match in 1 month's time. So everyone does their usual yay, cheer, blah, blah, blah thing. And then this Raw reminded me that Money in the Bank is the next pay-per-view. So they decided this was have a match and make your way into the Money in the Bank briefcase Money in the Bank match at Money in the Bank. So the theme of the night was people fighting their way into this match. There was a bunch of matches that we will talk about as we go through. But most importantly, the Money in the Bank briefcase had this spotlight on it in the middle of the ring that had it looked like the angel beam rays, whatever you want to call it, like the holy rays, like kind of stuff. It was actually really cool. I thought it was funny. Or it was well done. Funny is probably not the best word. Why is he yelling at me like that?
A lot from the looks of it. Oh my gosh! Extra slow getting back to his base here.
Look at him talking. Mock him. Mock him. Mock a flock of flame.
Wow. Stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message.
Yeah, that's
so the first Money in the Bank match was Sami Zayn over Sheamus. Their match was super aggressive, pretty hardcore. Not like hardcore with like thumbtacks and barbed wire and shit. It was pretty aggressive. For as beastly as Sheamus is, Sami did a good job of making himself look, we'll call it competent, but I guess maybe like competitive is a better word. Like He was in there. He was in there the whole time. Come back. Come back this.
And there's some more emotion on display.
So they had a pretty great match. Sami Zayn eventually wins for his another shot at the Money in the Bank briefcase. This was one of the many matches that, as soon as I say the matchups, you will know who wins before I even tell you who won. But they go in the back. Fuck him. They go in the back after this match where they're interviewing Apollo Crews for his Money in the Bank shot coming up, and they start doing the whole "You wanna call us a new era? I fucking hate the new era." And Sheamus came in and beat the shit out of Crews, which probably not appreciated, but you know, Sheamus was mad. He's tired of hearing about the new era.
Nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this.
So, sorry, I'd look down for a second. I'm thinking about the game too. If you notice, there's blood on my character's hand from where he punched the Scorpion over here, Randy Orton.
Shoulders down. This could be it. Count.
Thank you.
He did it. What a huge win.
Look at that. It looks badass. There's fucking blood on my hand. So, Crews gets jumped, and that goes into back out to the ring, back out to the action, where the New Day is throwing a birthday party for Raw, because it's like the 1200th episode. They said it's been going on for 23 years, which doesn't seem right. 23rd birthday. I don't feel like Raw's been on that long, because I'm pretty sure I've watched wrestling almost my entire life. I don't remember being 10 when it started. That doesn't mean it wasn't. I just don't remember. So they start running around the ring with their birthday cake, saying, who's going to get the cake? Is it going to be the kids outside the ring? Is it going to be JBL? Is it going to be... who's the other commentator guy? Who's the... What the hell's his name? Not Cole either. What the fuck's his name? Why can't I think of it?
Look who's come out here, Michael.
It doesn't matter. The third commentator guy. I can't believe I can't think of his fucking name right now. They taunt him with the cake. Social Outcasts run down and jump them before any cake shenanigans can happen. They have the match, which of course basically concludes with... why am I drawing so many blanks tonight? Heath Slater, there we go. It basically concludes with them going, Heath Slater wants the cake! And him getting caked outside the ring to mark the day. It wasn't anything special, it was basically just a setup. Excuse me. Basically just a setup to smack somebody with the cake. They got to do what they wanted to do. But nothing really came out of that, so there's not really much more to talk about.
Dishing out some serious punishment here.
Well, luckily the body has...
So, next up match was Cesaro versus The Miz. Oh.
He's looking to create some
Did I skip? Okay, no, okay. Yep, so next matchup was Cesaro versus The Miz. Another good match. They talked about how Extreme Rules was painful for both of them. They go back and forth. Guess who won? That's right, Cesaro. That way, when they do stuff like this, for example, with that match, Cesaro can go on Money in the Bank, not have anything to worry about. It still looks good for his character, and Miz can keep his belt, and it doesn't look bad. He can take an L, and it doesn't affect his champion status, which is good for his character too. Ugh. So next match was Jericho against Crews. One thing that's fucking crazy, as if you watch Extreme Rules, you saw pictures that night or the night after. The game is lagging for some reason. Jericho got power bombed into a whole shitload of thumbtacks. Looked disgusting. They started pulling him out backstage, and his back was just covered with band-aids, like big patches, to help cover up his tack injuries, which was really kind of... I know it's real, and I know it's fake. They put bandages on him to say it's fake. I know they don't do that shit, but it did look very cool that that was on his back. It helped really sell the fact that he got his ass kicked the night before. Can't get my ass kicked now. Why can't I do anything?
No lie, he's wild in there.
Wow, then out.
Wow, what a punishing gutbuster.
I'm not sure I can
Fuck Bray
watch
Wyatt.
this.
Oh, you son of a bitch! No good. No good. No good. No good.
And he brings the action back inside the ring.
Yeah, I think this is good strategy.
And the ref gave me the slow count too. That was nice of him.
He's gotta be vigilant.
So Jericho, of course, wins because no one really cares about Apollo Crews yet. I actually kind of expected him to win since it seemed like they're pushing the whole, all of the NXT younger people right now. So I'll be honest and say I did not see that one coming. But it doesn't really surprise me either that Jericho won his match because it's Chris Jericho. He should be way better than a new NXT rookie. Next up, Cass comes out. You know he's going to start talking to schmack. And while the song's playing, he points to the back. And Enzo is back, baby! He comes flying out at 100 miles per hour like he likes to do. He gets so hyped up that he drops the mic, which he's done multiple times before, but it actually falls off all the way off the side of the ramp and off the side of the stage. So he has to jump off and try to find it. You can see security trying to help him find it. He gets it quick, he runs back in. He's ready to go. They rip on the Dudley some more. I don't know if Enzo is ready to wrestle for like 100% yet, because it was a Cass versus Bubba match like they've been doing for a while. There's some cool stuff outside with Devon and Enzo as well. Like, Enzo took some bumps. I just don't know if he's ready to, like, maybe he's not full-blown ready to wrestle yet. I'm not his doctor, I don't know. But it seemed like that's the safest way to get him back on TV so they can be together, but not worry about him getting re-hurt yet. So, of course, Cass wins again because they're pushing the hell out of Enzo and Cass. I didn't watch them enough in NXT, but I feel like they need a tag team name. So if they used to have a tag team name, if someone could tell me, that'd be swell. If they didn't used to have a tag team name, they need one because Enzo and Big Cass doesn't really flow off the tongue when you say, like, the New Day, or the Dudley Boys, or the Vaudevillains, or Social Outcasts. It's too many words. Too many syllables. So yeah, someone think of a name or tell me if they had a name. Next is Charlotte's presentation of sorts of her winning the championship. Like most people that probably saw it coming. So that tonight was the night, or Monday night was the night where she decides, I'm kicking Ric Flair to the curb. And she cut a promo on Ric Flair that seemed like one of those weird real life / wrestling mixes where she was like, you were never around as a follower. The only way I could see you on TV. So the only way you're going to see me from now on is going to be on TV. She's like, I don't need you anymore. You're a loser. You're trash. Get away from me. You're garbage. And completely rips the shit out of him. Ric Flair starts crying. And the craziest part about the promo, Dana Brooke was out there too. That's not really relevant. The craziest part of that promo is, I know she's not a good enough actor to pull it off, but Charlotte's voice was cracking horribly, like she was about to cry too. And I mean, I'm sure screaming at your father like that doesn't feel good, TV or not, but you don't sound tough when you're screaming at your dad and you're ready to cry too. I mean, I know it's an emotional thing. I understand both sides, but it just seemed like she was being, sorry, back hurt, weak to me, or not being able to commit to what she was supposed to be doing instead of being strong. But that's my personal opinion, so it doesn't count for much, obviously. You know, it's just me. Just me talking. So, I don't know how to transition between the matches when I talk about things. So I apologize to everybody that I constantly do that. I really don't know how to fix it, though. There's no commercials here. So I can't just go, and now commercial break. No, and then the next thing I want to talk about. And then the next thing. And then the next thing. And the next thing was Dean Ambrose against Dolph Ziggler. And you know who won that one too? That's right, Dean Ambrose. Like how I let that hang there for a second? That build up, did it build up the tension? The whole match was how Ziggler's been Mr. Money in the Bank. He does everything, and Dean Ambrose doesn't know what's going to happen. And Dean Ambrose is so beat up from last night, whether he shows it or not. He's exhausted. He didn't go to the thumbtacks, but he did everything else. Blah, 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 blah. So, of course, Mr. I lose to all comers. Dolph Ziggler lost again. If I had to guess, I would say he is probably the next wrestler who's going to quit. I have no proof. I have no insider information. It seems like he doesn't mind losing all the time. But I feel like at some point he's going to get tired of being cement mid-card, not really quote-unquote going anywhere. And he's going to quit and get tired of that shit. Wouldn't blame him. Wouldn't say he's wrong in doing it. That's the same thing as not blaming him, I guess. But I feel like he's going to be next. So, they do their thing. And that comes down to... Excuse me. AJ versus Kevin Owens. So AJ gets promo time in the ring before Kevin Owens even comes down. He says, you know, if it wasn't for the Usos and Gallows and Anderson, I would have been the champion last night. I don't like to dwell on the past though, but that should have been my time. But it's okay. Oh no.
You gotta move quicker than that.
I probably should have. So of course the club comes out. They piss and moan with each other. AJ says, you know what? This isn't Japan anymore, guys. I came here by myself. I wouldn't do this by myself. We're not together anymore. So they broke up too. And I kind of thought he was going to get jumped before his match by them. But they can do that later. He'll get jumped at some point by him. But, you know, they cut this promo about how they've been covering his ass for the past years. And if he doesn't want that anymore, that's fine, but he's going to regret it. Thought they were going to jump him, but yes, he just walks out. So AJ and the club are officially not together again, which it didn't seem like he wanted to be with the entire time before that. Not really a shock. Maybe he can wait for Finn to come up now, and the Baylor Club can be together.
No kidding, this is getting ugly.
We'll see about that. Oh, come on.
What force? That was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, yes, lock, motherfucker.
Insult to injury by using that move against his opponent.
Oh, man, this may not end well.
So, they break up. Much like Charlotte and her dad did, just a different way. We're not bros anymore, bro. Better watch your back. We had your back. You wouldn't have been walking out a lot of fights if it wasn't for us. So they do that horse shit. And then Owens and AJ have their match. It's a back and forth, just like a lot of AJ's matches are anymore. They keep hyping up how rough his Extreme Rules match was, and it was. It was fucking intense when you really think about it. But that match too, I didn't know what was going to happen, because either one of those two guys winning makes sense in the storylines that they work. But it came down to Kevin Owens going to Money in the Bank. And it makes more sense to have him in the Money in the Bank match, I think, just because then AJ can do something else, a different program at the moment. I don't know what program would be better for him necessarily. I don't think I need any of these. One of these. But I'm not sure what they're going to do then. There's a lot of opportunities for different things here, but I'm not sure how they're going to handle his promos now, or what his new story is going to be. Because him fighting against the club is kind of stupid. I think that's dumb to just have him do that, considering he's been doing that for quite some time now. We're going to add this, because that sounds badass too. So, I don't know. I don't know where that stuff's going to go. I'm sure they'll figure it out soon. We're going to do this match real quick, even though I'm done talking about Raw, because I want to see what that new leg drop thing looks like. Notes away. Load though.
The ref's calling for the match. The referee's been turned inside out with a huge clothesline.
Well, I think it was an accident, but man, did that look painful.
It's one of these stupid matches. Why is he just getting the full boost right away?
Collar and elbow tie.
Stop doing this, asshole.
Critical for a competitor in establishing themselves in the match.
Fuck Roman Reigns. This is why I hate him. He does shit like this in video games too. All he does is irritate me.
Working for control.
Break it up.
Definitely looking confident in this one-on-one environment. We're
There we
going to
go.
find out who's the better competitor.
I sound like Bill Cosby right now. Get barricade wall. Okay.
That's for sure. No gimmicks here. Just some good old-fashioned one-on-one.
He really sounds like Bill Cosby right now. They love the wrestling. I forgot I had this. Oh, it's not a submission one, that's why. Okay.
There may be no stopping him.
There's no stopping me. Can't stop, won't stop.
What some fans may not know is that before coming to WWE, Roman
Toby.
Reigns was one of the most feared defensive tackles in the United States.
Get the fuck out of here.
He played football at Georgia Tech. Reigns also played in the NFL for the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I feel like they're talking about somebody else. If not, my fucking Super Sporto friends never told me about Roman Reigns playing in 2 different teams. I'm disappointed with them right now. But that's funny then that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are both on the Vikings.
Not today, too fast.
Don't know how much I know how much Brock Lesnar played, and it was almost absolutely none. But maybe Roman Reigns played more, I don't know. Wrench the neck.
Another part of Roman Reigns' personal life is that he is the son of WWE Hall of Famer Wild Samoan Sika. So success is in his blood.
That's why he's a champ right now.
He's doing everything he can to get his bearings back here. Otherwise, this match could be over sooner than anyone could have anticipated.
Yeah, Cole, this is when you have to settle things down.
Oh, he didn't do it there. I like when
Back in your body,
I don't know how I do it.
strategize
That
for
one
your
move that's
next
like
move or your next form of
the back of the
attack.
leg tackle thing. I think I like that. I like it a lot. Alright, so we can get this. No, I guess not.
Quick thinking to avoid that.
He's showing no signs of letting up.
Of course not. So we're gonna throw him this way.
So much on the line in this one, and like they say, on any given night, anything can happen in WWE.
That's something I learned early on in my stay here.
Let's try to
WWE.
charge up the. We're gonna charge up the bar here real quick.
Anything can happen in the WWE, even that.
Second hit him with this.
Hang on.
That's how you move up the ladder here in WWE.
So now, if I understand, fuck you.
Not today, too fast. Roman Reigns seems helpless.
Is it here? Is it here? It is. Let's- So should we start the count, right? No, it's not. Uh-oh. Double count out. That's sick, though. I like that.
Here we see it one more time.
I don't know if I can believe what
That
I
looks so
saw the
goofy.
first
That's
time.
cool, though. I like that. This is be close. Get the ring.
And he's heading back in.
I can't blame him. Nothing good is going to happen out here on the floor.
I don't know how they got that started over, and we both didn't lose, but I'll take it. Don't worry, but he's gonna spear me when he gets up and fucking piss me off in video games too.
Great one-on-one action here tonight. It doesn't get much better than this. The gutbuster leaves even the hardiest souls gasping for breath.
You're not kidding. He may not breathe for a couple of minutes.
Can't
He's really squeezing tight on that figure 4. Oh man, this has got to hurt.
waste any boost on this. Just gonna wear him down. He's falling apart. That's sick figure 4. Thank you everybody for watching, as always. There'll probably be another episode at some point before the next Raw. But hope you enjoy it. Hope I prove some insight, but probably not really, into the current state of the WWE. But as always, thank you for watching. Talk to everybody later. Bye, Seth.